Hello and welcome to Marketing Matters. Today we're joined by Brooke Beam and we're going to be talking about how you can incorporate 360-degree video into your marketing strategies. So stay tuned. I'm Christie Welch, Direct Food and Agricultural Marketing Specialist with OSU Extension. Welcome to Marketing Matters. We're joined today by Brooke Beam, who's an educator in Highland County with OSU Extension. And Brooke's going to share some new marketing strategies with us that we can use on our farms. Welcome, Brooke.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. So today we're going to talk about virtual reality or 360 video. And it seems like it's a concept that may be a little bit futuristic or complicated, but really it's something that anybody could incorporate it into their marketing plans on their farm or in their small businesses. It's becoming more common as cameras and technology changes, and it's also because of the increase in technology, the price has come down for kind of the entrance into this the skill set for how to do these types of videos.
Well, that's great, and I'm glad you can be here to share with us, Brooke, because of course we're always looking for new ways to help our producers market their farms and their products, and of course we're reading a lot about virtual reality for use in marketing. So tell us again, what's the basics? What is virtual reality?
So virtual reality is it's a system of a spherical video. So it's made with a 360-degree camera, which is what this is. And it's essentially a camera that has two lenses. So there's a lens here on this side, and there's a lens on the other side. So there's two different lenses on each side of the camera, and it captures everything in 360 degrees. So it's essentially taking an image from each side of the camera and then stitching it together to make a full image. So this allows you to have a view of all aspects of what the camera can see. And so that's where these goggles come in. So virtual reality is the recording of everything that is around you, and then it can be played using a smartphone, or you can even watch it and kind of drag across in YouTube or another video platform so you can see the entire picture.
So Brooke, I've been seeing a lot of that on social media sites. People will just share pictures that you can drag around and see that 360 view.
Correct.
Is that the same concept but in video format?
Correct. So you can, that's a form of virtual reality with a picture, as you can see all the images, the whole picture on Facebook, but also with the video is more of a fully immersive system. So in the United States, it's estimated that by 2020, 85% of the internet use will be entirely videos. So we're not going to be reading everything, we're going to be watching it. And 2020 is not that far away. So getting ahead of the game and incorporating video strategies is a huge plus for anyone who's trying to market their business. They're trying to communicate a message to an audience. Right now, it's estimated that the average American will spend 10 hours a day on their mobile device.
Wow, 10 hours. That's incredible.
Consuming some kind of entertainment or media. So as more elementary schools, as more young people start to incorporate, iPads or other technologies into their education, videos become more popular. It's completely normal and relevant for people to consume their marketing and other kind of information through videos and virtual reality. So it's going to become much more common in our everyday life.
Well, and I think it's really going to be a great tool because, as you know, being in agriculture, the general population is very removed, but there's a high interest right now, of course, in food production.
That's right.
So, again, we're hoping this can be an effective tool for our producers to share how they produce their products.
That's right.
Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. So some of the communication strategies that research has found that are the best methods to communicate to the public at large that do not have an agricultural background is through the use of transparent communications. So one of the things that they like to know where the family farms are. They They'd like to know the story of the family farms and to be connected with their producers. And so I think that the virtual reality and the use of 360-degree videos really ties into that, because there's nothing that's edited out. You can see everything around you. You're getting truly the whole picture. There's nothing that's hidden, which kind of leads into the concept of how do you use this camera.
Right.
It's not a normal camera. It's not like your iPhone, where there's just one lens on it. This one has two lenses, and so you're getting much more information. You don't have to look through it like a camera. You simply set it where you want to capture what's going on around you and press record. So it's a different concept. Personally, I think that they perform best when they're up on a tripod around eye level. So that way you're getting a normal view for what you would experience in real life.
Right. And of course, one of the things that we're finding is, people do so much searching online and on their mobile devices before they ever start to think about a purchasing decision.
Right.
So again, if we can help our producers, help their potential customers find them and get them excited about visiting that operation, well, that's a win for everybody.
Right.
So you mentioned, of course, the camera and that the costs have come down, but what are we looking at if we wanted to invest in this type of a camera?
So the one that we have here is a GoPro Fusion, and it's going to run $600 to $700. Now there are other ones that are cheaper. They'll probably start around $300, and they can go above and much higher than that. But these are more of a common consumer model. They have this particular model will shoot in 5.7K, which is extremely high quality video. And it's also waterproof, and it'll do all the functions that go along with 360 video.
Great. So let's say that we've looked at different cameras and we've chosen our camera. What else do we need to do this 360-degree video?
So depending on the camera that you choose, it will depend on the camera you choose and the software that is required to edit the video. Like an Insta360 one, everything is on your phone, so you just download an app, and it's very simple, very user-friendly. With the GoPro Fusion, you have to download a software to your computer where it will stitch the two halves together, and then you can put any of the, once you finally have your video file, you insert it into some kind of an editing software. So I use Final Cut and Premiere Pro. They should both do the job. When you insert it into your editing software, it looks different because it's like the picture has been unfolded.
I know when we were talking about putting this broadcast together, Brooke's done some 360 videos, and she sent one to me to view, and I opened it in my browser on my computer, and it just looked really weird. And then I noticed the message. Well, the browser I was using at the time didn't support 360 video.
Right.
So there are some technical issues that folks will have to work through, correct?
Right. Some of the more modern browser versions play these videos easier than others. But when they're editing, don't be surprised if the first time through you're wondering, why does it look this way? But once you get it figured out, it's a very simple editing process, and you simply align the clips in the order that you want them and then render it as you would any normal video. We've been hosting our 360-degree videos for my extension office on YouTube, and they seem to play very well, and they upload easy, and it's a very user-friendly platform that functions on most browsers.
Fantastic. So we've got our camera. Now I see these things sitting here.
Right.
What are these for, Brooke?
So if you have some sort of an interactive experience that you want to have, let's say you have a booth at a farmer's market, or you're at a county fair, or you want to have something interactive at your business. These are virtual reality goggles. They are relatively cheap. They're about $5 if you go to a large superstore. You can also make your own out of cardboard, or you can get a more fancy model that might have a little bit better optics or an easier use to insert the phone. You don't have to have a lot of technology beyond this. You can watch it directly on your phone or your computer without the goggles, but if you really want to have an immersive experience for whoever's viewing your video, these are great. So you would simply, for example, with our videos, you would go to YouTube, and you would go to the web page, start the video, and get it to play. Press on the button that has the goggle view, and then that gives you the split screen, which is formatted for the 360-degree goggles. You pick the phone up, insert it, and kind of align the midpoint with the line in the goggles, and let the person try on the goggles, and then they have the fully immersive view. So it looks...
Wow, that's amazing.
So it looks the same as if you were right there, right, Christy?
Absolutely. As I turn my head, it's just like I'm standing in this pasture field and watching the cows walk by. I can look up and see the sky. I can look down and see the pasture. So this is really incredible.
So we've tried it at the Highland County Fair earlier this year, and we had a lot of success with individuals who were watching them, and they really enjoyed the content and the technology. Virtual reality is becoming popular amongst educational institutions. The Smithsonian, National Geographic, all have videos that use this technology, and so it's becoming something that you can take virtual field trips on all around the world.
That is so exciting. Again, with so much interest in learning about how food is produced and what happens on working farms, I just think this is going to be an awesome tool for our producers, not only here in Ohio, but of course around the country.
That's right.
Of course, right now with it being fall, we're thinking about pick your own pumpkins and corn mazes and all those agritourism activities that people can do. So what a great way to help them get excited about coming to experience your farm.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great tool, and you can use it to, if you don't want to use it, let's say you have an opportunity to make a standard video and you don't want to use this for 360 for whatever reason, you can convert 360-degree video so that it fits on a normal television screen, and you can follow objects. It's just a process of entering keyframes into the editing, and then there's 3 different ways you can manipulate the video. You can adjust the pitch, the roll, or the yaw. And
so wait a minute, Brooke. Tell me again about, I assume that's up and down, side to side. Explain those a little bit for us.
So this will be spinning it in whichever direction you'd like to go. You can go all left or right, and then you can go kind of diagonally in each direction. And so as you enter these keyframes, you're adjusting the location of where you are in the video. With a standard, like something that comes from a camera, like a normal, an iPhone or a DSLR camera, you only have so much material, but the added benefit of having a 360 camera is you can do anything. So let's say there's a bird or a plane or something that flies by and you want to follow that. You can do that really easy when editing, because you can look everywhere with the 360 camera.
Great. Again, what a great tool. Now, again, we've talked a little bit about costs. We've talked about some of the features of different cameras and the goggles. But again, if I'm going to start thinking about incorporating this into my business and my marketing strategies, what other homework might I want to do before I make that purchase decision, whether it's the camera or the goggles?
Some of the decisions you'd want to look into beyond the cost, I think you really should have a little bit of experience trying to edit something first. Most everybody has a smartphone, so try to record some videos. See what technology you can put onto your computer to edit with. Having a little bit of basic editing knowledge goes a long way with this. It's not difficult once you get into it, but it just requires a little bit of patience.
Another question that you might be able to answer for us, Brooke, too, if we're looking at the length of a video, I know when we're doing just a traditional, not a 360 video, I mean, people are really only watching about 15 seconds. I mean, sometimes 30 seconds, but it's pretty short. Have you found that with a 360 video that people kind of stick with it a little bit longer and you have a better view of that?
It depends from my experience on how they're viewing it. If they're watching things that have a lot of action with the 360-degree goggles, they'll watch a little longer. If there's not a lot of action, if the interest in the film is not close to the perspective of the camera, it's not as interesting, and so they don't watch as long.
Okay.
If it's something where if you don't have access to the goggles and you're using a computer and you have to click through to change the perspective a lot, they're probably not going to watch as long. So the key to using it is to put the camera as close as possible to the action, so that way you can see things easily, and to just try to be as interactive with it as possible. So
I just had a thought come to me. So if I'm at some kind of an event where I've got my display set up and I'm trying to promote my business or my product, well, if I had these goggles set in here and had my 360 video ready to go, I could make that person that I'm talking to feel like they've been to my farm or my operation.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we tried at the Highland County Fair. We had a series of videos that were promoting local foods and educating youth on the different agricultural industries in the county. And so we had a series of videos that were stitched together that highlighted cover crops, pasture-raised beef, an orchard. So yes, it absolutely made the participants who watched the videos feel like they had been to the farms, and a lot of the people who had not been to any kind of a farm before, they absolutely felt like they had been there.
And so when you were doing that too, I'm just curious to know, again, because when we're talking marketing, we're identifying our target customer, and age, of course, comes into play. So when you're out demonstrating this and you have these goggles here, did you see a big difference in whether it was mainly young people willing to put those on, or is everybody kind of curious and willing to watch those videos?
Most everybody is very curious about what they are. I mean, particularly younger kids were the first ones. They were the early adopters. They were right there and ready to watch them. There was no hesitation. And once one of them came around, they would bring a bunch of their friends. And then they would bring their parents and their grandparents. So it's really something that's for all generations. I think you'll catch a lot of interest from a younger audience simply because they're used to this kind of technology. It's used in video games. It's also been in popular movies and entertainment. And so it's something it's much more common now than what it used to be, and it's going to continue to become involved in our life.
So if I can ask another question, then I see we have two sets of goggles sitting here, and if we're demonstrating or letting people watch our video on site at like the Highland County Fair, you had to put your iPhone in this one to play the video. Would we need a phone or device in each pair of goggles?
You would.
Okay.
So there's no screen inside of these goggles. You may be able to find some that do have screens already included in them, but the price point would be higher on those. So you could also have whoever's watching them insert their own phone. That would get the traffic to whatever site you were hosting your video on, increase the awareness of your company, and get them to watch some of the other videos.
And so you would just provide that link on your YouTube channel, link to them, and then they could pick the videos that they want to watch that you've produced and put on your channel.
Absolutely.
So again, as we think about agriculture, and of course it's feeling like fall here in Ohio. It was actually below freezing where I was this morning. Again, it just comes to mind as people are so removed from the farm and they want to know how farms operate and how food is produced. What if we did one video every season, fall, winter, spring, and summer, and then somebody could feel like they've come and visited your farm 4 times a year? That just sounds really exciting to me.
Absolutely. It's great to show people what they don't get to see on an everyday basis, particularly as less than 1% of the population are involved in production agriculture. Being able to share images of agriculture and their farming operations to the public is absolutely wonderful.
So I have another question. Again, this was my first time to actually watch the 360 video in the goggles, which is pretty amazing. I have seen it on a computer and on my phone, of course. But is there an industry, I know you mentioned the gaming industry, that's really kind of leading the use of the 360 video, where people can go and just, check it out, get some more ideas on how they might be able to incorporate that into their operation?
Sure. So there's a couple different things. So you have virtual reality and then there's augmented reality. And when I think of video games, I think a little bit more on augmented reality. So it's more of a all computerized and digitized produced image that you're seeing. So that would be what you're seeing with the video games. When I think of virtual reality, I think of something that's actually recorded in real life. Okay. So it's a digital video file, but it is actually something that is real. So beyond the video gaming industry, there's actually some film festivals in the world that are simply virtual reality 360-degree videos.
Oh, wow.
So it's coming as a filming tool, and so it is the future of our communications and videos that we'll be watching. I can see a lot of things how this will be impacting reporting. So it would be like taking people to scenes and you would see everything that's going on.
Oh, wow.
With live broadcasts with that.
Yeah. And so if I want to, again, go view some additional 360 videos, I know they can go to the Highland County OSU Extension webpage. You have some there. Are there other places? Can you go to YouTube and just look for 360-degree videos?
You can. There's a lot of 360-degree videos on YouTube. You might find some on Vimeo. So there's a lot of opportunities to watch those. We have a YouTube page for the Highland County Extension Office, and that's where we've been hosting all of ours. And so we have several different options and videos for you to watch there.
Very good. Well, it's been a lot of great information. We have a few minutes left here. So what I'd like to do, again, because this information is so new to folks, could we just do a little bit of a review? Maybe just kind of reiterate what we've talked about to this point for me as much as the viewers that are watching.
Sure. So virtual reality it's a system that's taking two cameras on a camera, and we can see both lenses here on each side of the camera, and they're taking both of the images from each side and stitching it together, so you're seeing the entire picture of what's around you. And once you have that, it's easy to edit in an editing software system on your computer and then upload to some kind of a platform like YouTube or Vimeo, and then you're able to watch everything that was in this segment. The future of technology and how we consume entertainment is going to be changing. By 2020, it's estimated that 85% of the internet will be consisting of videos. So being an early adopter in this case is a great thing, because you're going to be ahead of the game of most producers by incorporating these kinds of videos and any kind of video into your marketing strategies. As we all have mobile phones, a lot of iPhones or Androids, they even have editing software on your phone, so you can edit on the go. If you can't do 360 degrees editing on your phone, but you could do a standard video and upload things while you're in the field. And so being able to be in communication with your audience is really the most important fact, but being able to have transparent communications, particularly in the agriculture industry, is very important. And so to have complete transparency, that's where the 360 component comes in and is better than a standard video, because you have the entire field of view. These cameras have all the same features and a few others that your phone or another camera wouldn't have. You can do time lapses, you can do photography. There's a function called over capture, which lets you take and shrink the image of what's around you. You can do that with pictures or the video. So it gives you a lot of options and a lot of flexibility. If you wanted to not use it as a camera for 360, but you wanted to use it to improve your filmmaking strategies for a standard video, it also is a great tool for that. So it's something that's coming on with technology, with field trips, virtual field trips, marketing, just having more experiences and broadening people's horizons, whether that's to the pumpkin patch, or maybe it's at your grain dryer or a combine ride. Connecting with the consumers and the people around you is a great way to market your farm.
Absolutely. And, we talk a lot about in some of the marketing trainings we do that, we really are in an experience economy.
Right.
It's more than just the product or service that people are looking for, but it's that remarkable, memorable experience just about in everything that we do anymore. So
That's
again, we wanted to have Brooke here with us today on Marketing Matters to help share this information so that you might look at adopting this as a tool for your particular business to help communicate with your customers and your potential customers. And so as we watch this technology, typically, of course, as technology improves and it becomes more adopted, the price continues to come down on that.
That's true.
Something that we can certainly look for, can't we, Brooke?
Absolutely. I think you'll see a lot of opportunities, particularly as the holiday season approaches, where the price points in these cameras may go down, so it might make the process of entering into this a little bit easier for everyone. And it's definitely something that's worth exploring for your business to try to promote the agricultural industry and just try a different tool for marketing.
Wonderful. Well, Brooke, again, we appreciate you being here today with us and sharing this great information. We look forward to seeing how this progresses in the future, and we certainly would love to have you come back and share more as we learn more and additional people begin to adopt this new technology. Again, appreciate your time. If somebody has questions, is there a way they can contact you for some additional follow-up?
Sure, absolutely. If you have any questions about adopting videos or 360-degree videos into your marketing strategies, you can contact me at the Highland County Extension Office, and I'd be happy to help you with any of those questions. If you want to watch some of our videos, you can see them on the Highland County YouTube site. We also post them through our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, and so we're going to be posting a few more here. We've done some videos highlighting Highland County agriculture this past summer. We're going to do some things with fall harvest, and we've got a couple videos in the works that are highlighting some of our historical sites in the community. So we've got a lot going on with it.
Very good. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this introduction to 360 video and virtual reality with Brooke Beam this morning. I'm Christie Welch.
I'm Brooke Beam.
Thanks for joining us for Marketing Matters.